find really interesting what people do with their time now that we're in this kind of worldwide quarantine. I have friends that are all around the world. One who is, he's found himself somehow on a farm during this time. So he's become a cowboy, taking care of the cows and the little calves. And other friends are professors, and well, their life really hasn't changed very much. They're just behind their books. The difference is they give their classes online, behind the computer. And I have another friend who spends his day reading poetry and Greek philosophy. Well, what do I do with my free time? When I'm not on a conference call or in meetings or giving talks on the internet, I try and spend as most time as possible in the garden. And it's amazing. I'm fascinated with the miracle of life, with all of that which grows, so much life, so much growth, the strength that a tiny little seed can have, and how each and every little seed is so different from the moment it's a seed, and how every little sprout and seedling comes out so differently as well. It reminds me of that parable of the mustard seed, the tiniest of seeds, but grows into this big bush and this big tree. Here in our garden, we don't have so much space for so many plants, and but you see how the seeds just grow. They're happy when you give them the right amount of water, some sunshine, good rich soil. They just grow, and God does the rest. It's a bit like that passage in 1 Corinthians 3:7. It's not the one who plants, the one who waters isn't anything, but it's God who gives the growth. And to be part of that dynamic of giving growth, of propagating life, is in some way to participate in the beauty of creation and the cycle of life. My question to you is, what do you sow in your life? What do you plant in your life? What do you cultivate? What thoughts, what questions, what reflections, what doubts do you nourish? Do you cultivate? Because that which you plant is what you will reap. And if you plant pessimism and panic, you will reap depression and anxiety. But if you sow seeds of gratefulness and gratitude for the life that you have now in this present moment and the people that are with you in this very moment, you will reap hope. Qoheleth, one of my favorite books, chapter 3, verse 2, in that famous poem on time says, "There's a time to plant and there's a time to uproot what you've planted." Everything has its moment. And we need to discern what takes up space in our mind and in our heart. And if we need to uproot some things that are taking up too much space and not allowing life and growth to other things that are better and more positive. Another book of the Bible that I find really beautiful and which speaks of the intimacy, the intimacy of love between a couple, using the image as well of the garden, is Song of Songs. And in Song of Songs, verse 11 and onwards, it's speaking about how winter is over and the rains have stopped, the flowers are appearing, and it says the lovers saying, "Get up, my beloved." God looks for us. God is looking for us, his beloved. He looks for our true self. He looks deep down. In the midst of this crisis, in the midst of this time, how beautiful if we can spend time to be with him and allow him to see our face and to hear our voice as it is without having to hide anything. Anyways, we're at home. Many people don't even care how they dress and what they put on because you're at home. And in that sense, to be at home with God, my dove, hiding in the clefts of the rock, let me see your face, let me hear your voice, because your voice is so sweet and your face so beautiful. Of course, the garden has its set of threats, and I'm in a constant struggle with the snails and the slugs and even the cats. Well, the cats are good because they eat the mice and the rats, but they come and dig things up, and I've sown a few bulbs, and all of a sudden the bulb is somewhere else, and you can see the little cat has done his business. And even at night here in London, there are many foxes, and so you can't deny that they come around as well to do their business and to look around. And there in Song of Songs as well, it says, trap the little foxes that destroy our vineyards. So the invitation really is to defend that which is good and beautiful, that which is growing with so much strength, and to defend it from all those things that threaten that peace, that threaten that joy, that threaten the beauty of what God wants us to become, and of bringing out our true self.